Hey guys, well, there is never a dull moment in the shop around here, that is for sure. As you can see, we have our wheel horse lawnmower tore apart here. We got the motor sitting over there in pieces, and I'll give you guys the backstory of exactly what happened. So we went ahead and pulled the deck off this thing, and we also had a snow blade, as I had informed you guys previous, that came with it. So we went and mounted up the snow blade. Actually, it's sitting over there right now, just kind of standing up out of the way. And we went ahead and mounted it up on the tractor here when we had a nice snowfall. Had the chains on it. We got the wheel weights too, and went and gave it a shot. It was running a little rough, but not too terrible. So we went ahead and gave it a shot. It was working really good. Honestly, I was really impressed at how well it was able to move the snow, and it really wasn't working terribly hard. And then all of a sudden, after maybe about 5 minutes or so, the motor just stopped. And then when I went and tried to restart it, it just turned over with like no resistance, is the best way to describe it. I'll try to overlay maybe a video of it on here. I captured on my cell phone, but there was just no compression. You can tell that it was really obvious we weren't getting any compression. It was just a really terrible sound. So we went ahead, did a little bit of research, realized there may be something internally wrong with this thing, and so we went ahead and tore the motor off and apart. And so here we are. We got the chassis sitting here. Everything is hydro powered, you know, so it's basically all this thing is doing from a motor standpoint is running the main pump, and then everything is ran off the pump. So with it, it's a pretty simple setup, but let's go ahead and show you guys what happened. So let me step over a few things so I can get a better camera angle. But honestly, I can't believe what happened. Check these pistons out. If you guys notice, there's something attached to them that is not looking the way that it should, and that is because the piston rods themselves snapped right off. Look at that, guys. Happened on both of them. This is a two-cylinder, you know, directly apart from one another. And really simple, straightforward, but sure enough, it snapped both piston rods. And when I pulled the pan off the bottom of this motor, the one that's sitting over there, this is what I found. All this pile of parts, just bits and chunks of the piston rods. You can see it. This is, you know, just the main base that mounted to the crank. And then we got some parts that are identifiable. They have some model numbers on them, so at least I knew what the replacement parts needed to be, so that was good. I was able to get enough from it in that regard. But just always something, it seems like. But needless to say, you know, it is what it is. We're going to take the time and fix it. This thing was doing a really good job at moving the snow, and you know, we obviously want to be able to move derby cars and things around as well with it, so we're going to take the time and fix this thing up and get it back in running condition. Surprisingly enough, cylinder walls actually are good on both cylinder sleeves here, so the main part looks really good. It's smooth. The crank actually checked out okay. There's a little bit of extra aluminum here for where the piston rod was originally riding, but a little bit of emery cloth, and that should actually clean right up. The oil-wise, it did smell of gasoline in the oil a little bit, so we're definitely going to be properly flushing that out, changing the oil filter, that sort of thing, and just making sure that that's all good to go. And we're also going to make sure to do a final check in the case here to make sure that we have all the metal chunks and bits and pieces out of it. Obviously, it will be able, if something did happen to work its way out of the motor, it would settle into the oil pan. But, you know, we just need to be, you know, smart about it, and let's get as much cleaned out as possible. So there you go, guys, just something we have going on here in the shop. Obviously not the update I wanted to give on the wheel horse, but you know, I'm always open to a new challenge, and that is exactly what this is. It is a new challenge for sure. So gonna put the camera down here and get to work. Hopefully it's only gonna be a couple hours and we'll get this thing back together. It came apart surprisingly easy. And we already went ahead and ordered a new set of pistons and rods for it, a new gasket set. We're just going to clean it up as best we can, install those new parts, and then hopefully we'll be in business and make it you know, a good working machine again and be able to be featured in our upcoming videos. So as I said, I'm going to drop the camera here. And speaking of camera, just real quick before I end this video, this is the first time I'm using our new camera that we had purchased. We filmed a video on it a couple weeks ago, and this is my first chance of giving it a try, so I'm still playing with the settings, as well as just technique of actually using the thing, how to hold it well, so that way it stays balanced and hopefully not super shaky for you guys. So if it's a little shaky, I do apologize. We'll figure it out as time goes on. And I have an external mic, so hopefully the sound sounds okay too. We may play with the settings of that as well. So comment below if you guys think the footage looks okay, or if you know, have some criticism, that's okay too. And then if you guys have any comments or know any tips and tricks on these wheel horses that I should be aware of, absolutely comment below, because I'm learning a lot about these. I really have not had any experience whatsoever with them, other than maybe just moving them around on occasion, but that's about the extent. So we're going to continue to learn and rebuild this little motor here, and hopefully in the next video you guys will see it running and moving. So there you go, guys. Hopefully this was interesting to you. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you aren't already, and as always, hope you have a great day. So until the next video, we'll talk to you later, guys.
Up, up,